What's going on, people? What's going on? Peace to everyone. I can't believe how hot it is. But I'm not complaining because that's what we want, right? We don't want it to be cold. But yeah. So before we start, I will tell you this. I've got the windows open. I've got a fan just here. If it's a bit noisy, I do apologize, but there's nothing I can do. It's too hot. It's too hot. I'm not gonna kill myself. We even got some lime and lemon. No alcohol. I'm actually, for no reason whatsoever, I've just decided I don't want to drink for a couple of months. So no more drinking. Let me quickly, as we always do, say hello to whoever's in live. Sai H says, evening troops. What's that? 8 p.m. start. I'll be here. Hopefully you're here. Soldier Boy Health and Fitness Channel. Hop, hop. I don't know what that means. What does hop, hop mean? No idea. Team Benjamin. Yo, Addy, we out here as always, brother. Peace. Who's this? HK says, aircon needed. This is the time to be in the office. For real. Like, I feel like I am actually sweating. And I've got a fan right in front of me, but it's still very hot. Stephen Dodd, boxing gloves. That means he's ready to go. He's strapped up. He's ready to go. Dean Baston, even that day. What is good? Not much. Well, in fact, no. A lot's good. Life is good right now. I do wish I was outside. Like when I said I was going to do this live, I didn't think that it was going to be this good, but I've flopped on a couple of lives, so we're doing the live no matter what. Jacob Quigg, good evening. Good evening, brother. Good evening. HK, at a steady go. Hey, you know what happened today? It's coming out of TalkSport. So I came out of TalkSport about 2-3 months ago, and someone said, Ade, can I get your autograph? I'm not even bullshitting you. It wasn't a picture of me, but fuck it, I still signed it. Today, I came out of TalkSport, and the guy had a picture of me, and he said, Ade, can you sign the photo? I signed it. My very first autograph happened today. Does that even happen? I don't know. And then he had like an autograph book, and he asked me to sign that as well. Then he asked for a photo, and then he said, Ade, I listen to you all the time. Big fan of yours. I was like, geez, it's a madness. There's a madness. Who else is in the chat? Rowan Perry. What up, Ade, my G? What's up, brother? E-Machines. Hello, brother Ade. Hello, E-Machines. E-Machines, what's your real name? What's your real name? Adil Shakut. Yes, a big depot. I like that. Jamal Muhammad, Canelo versus Hopkins. I'm just saying hello to people right now. I'm not even going to get into the fight yet. We're saying hello to everyone that's here. Dr. Wolf Tickets in the building. Muzimoyo, Adi. What's good, my bro? What's good? What's good? What's good? Team Batman Boxing. Stephen Tokley, even though at least now you'll be in your studio in time for Fury Wilder 3. Fact. Fact. Castano 1 says, hey, I'm a mood. We'll get to that. We're going to get onto that. 31 degrees in Birmingham, says HBU. It's about that here as well right now in London. It is good. Can't lie. I might finish this and go out for go for a walk. It's lovely. Anthony Vander says, yes, Ade. All right. I could keep going on and on and on, but there's a lot of people in the chat. So thank you as always, especially considering the weather is that good. I thought a lot of you would be out and about, but thank you that a lot of you have passed by and will give me some of your Sunday to have a moan and a groan about boxing. Shit. Did you see that? I just dropped some in the water. Always going to happen. All right, let's talk about JERMELL Charlo Castano. Did anyone score this fight for Charlo? Let me have a quick look. Did anyone score the fight for Charlo? All I'm seeing so far is Charlo lost last night. Charlo definitely swerving the rematch. What else? Another one, the same one that Charlo lost last night. A few of you are saying Charlo. Okay, no one had it. Wait, what's this? I think I saw someone say that at 115, 130. Castano. Jake Jansen says no. Muzzy Moyo says Castano. I had it 7-5 Castano. And I have to admit, I didn't watch it live. I woke up and watched it. I had it 7-5 Castano. I can understand how you'd have it a draw. I could see how it was a fight of two halves. That's what people were saying. The first half was Castano. The second half, he clearly started to tire a bit. Charlo landed a couple of good shots, and Charlo started to come back into it. Whoa, look at this one. Ethan, 116, 112, Castano. Okay. I don't mind a draw. I don't mind Castano. There's no way. Oh, okay. 1 second. J Moore. I don't know what fight with J Moore. 8-4 Charlo. Come, brother, stop it. No. I'd have it a draw. Castano win. I can't, and I've watched it properly. I watched it this morning properly. Coffee was in the system. My eyes were wide like that watching it. There's no way I can give it to Charlo. I can't score the fight for Charlo. And trust me, I'm trying to find rounds for Charlo. I'm a big JERMELL Charlo fan. I can't. 7-5 Castano, a draw. That's it. 117, 111. It's impossible. Do you understand what I'm saying here? It's not like, you know, like sometimes when the scorecard is so wide, like sometimes look, fight rounds can be so close. You could give it to someone and someone could watch the same fight and give it to the other person. There is no way though on this earth that fight is 117, 111. It's impossible, which therefore means, see, some people are nice. Andre Ward, love him to death. He said things like it's incompetence. I think Stephen Espinoza said incompetence. It's corruption. 117, 111 is just corruption. It's not incompetence. It's not. That judge is a smart man. It's not incompetence. It's corruption. It's almost like that scorecard was written down before the fight fucking started. There's no way on this earth you can give it a 117, 111 to Charlo. I mean, I just said Charlo didn't win the fight. So how can you give it to him by that big a swing? It doesn't make sense. Disgrace. Dino O'Donnell said, it's good to be here this evening. Man, it's good to have you guys here. Castano robbed. We've got to be careful with this. We've all watched boxing for a long time. We know what a robbery is. Like, there are many fights where it's like, Jesus Christ, man. I don't call a split draw a robbery. 117, 111 is a robbery. A split draw, it's not really a robbery. I thought Castano won, but I gave it 7-5. It could have been a draw. I think the robbery is the 117, 111, but there have been worse decisions. Let's be honest. What's this? Jake Jansen, did you see one of the judges score for Charlo? What the fuck? How are they? They're killing boxing. Disgusted. I did say though as well. I always get my predictions wrong. You guys know that, but I say, look, don't sleep on Castano. That's one thing I said, right? I've done a few prediction videos for this. I said, if Charlo tries to stand there and have trade with Castano, it's going to be a long night, and that was the case because Charlo for some reason decided to sit on the ropes. Like, if you watch every Castano fight, Castano gets success when people sit on the ropes. So it was a bit weird to see Charlo decide to sit on the ropes. It was weird to see Charlo try and hook with a hooker. But credit to Charlo, I think he had to dig real deep. And I think sort of the second half of the fight, we started to really land some good and spiteful punches. But yeah, for me, Charlo lost that fight. I mean, it does open up the 154-pound division now. Charlo still, I think, is the number one in the division just because he has 3 of the belts. I think you've got to give him that props. But Castano's arrived. I think the Lara fight put him on the map, but this fight definitely put him on the map. And now you're thinking there are big fights for him, really big fights. I mean, they are talking about the Tim Tszyu fight in Australia. They're talking about Erickson Lubin. Tony Harrison wants to chuck his hat in the ring. There are whispers about Terence Crawford. We're going to get onto that. But Terence Crawford wants to go to 154 pounds as well. He's had a little dig at JERMELL Charlo this morning. Will it be Charlo? Will it be Castano? We wait and see. But yeah, in the end, I thought Castano won. What's this from Ethan? He got hurt in the third and looked surprised and intimidated for about 5 rounds. He definitely got hurt to Charlo. Got hurt again. He was sitting on the ropes, and that's my point. When he hooked with Castano, who's actually quite good at those little winging hooks, it might have been in the third where Castano landed a hook. Charlo took it. Castano landed exactly the same shot as Charlo tried to land his hook. That definitely wobbled Charlo's legs. Yeah, there's no way you can score that fight. 8-4, I think someone said in the comment section for Charlo. It's not possible. Jesus Christ, look at this one. To be honest, I didn't know Charlo Castano was happening. Don't follow anything below middleweight. Dude, you need to. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all, by the way. I think you're trolling. Because I know for a fact you know that Pacquiao Spence is happening. So stop it. Don't lie. Do not lie. Super chat here from Will Lynch says, I'm glad most people don't disagree with the outcome. How we got there, that's the real robbery. It's how on one card, Castano got 8-9 and the 117, 111. Yeah. Interesting. That's very interesting. Sometimes, like in the end, I think, and it's very, very, very good point Will's making here. In the end, I think we can all, I think every party can go home happy at the draw. Castano will be upset, but in the end, he'll go home and think, you know what, there's a chance for a rematch. Charlo will walk out thinking, whew, I kept my belts. Sometimes you got to look at the scorecards individually and look at some of the rounds the judges are given to the fighters, and they need to be held accountable. Because some of them, when you see the rounds, you know, when they take a picture of the scorecard and you see it, it's incredible how they're scoring these things. It's incredible. And again, people might to say it's incompetence and, oh, they're inept and all that kind of shit. No, it's corruption. There must be. It must be. The 117, 111 must be. I'm sorry, people. It has to be. Sorry, it has to be. Castano is great point about, again, Will. That's a great message, bro. A very good message. Adil Shakut says Castano is number one, in my opinion. Wouldn't be surprised if Charlo runs to 160. Calm down a bit. Calm down a bit. Charlo ain't going to be scared of that rematch. I mean, Castano had great success. So did Charlo. Charlo, there was one round where I thought Charlo was going to get him out of there. So Charlo had it. But I just feel like small adjustments and we'll see a better and improved Charlo come the rematch. Charlo is not scared of Castano. I mean, these South Americans, though, fuck me, they've got an engine. Like, he's got grit. He had power. This is Castano I'm talking about. There were times when I thought, okay, he's going to fold. Didn't fold. He's made of good stuff. I'll tell you that now. Made of good stuff. Z1 says, how you doing, Ade, bro? Can you make a shout out to Tunisia? Shout out to Tunisia. Shout out to Tunisia. Interesting. Muzimoy says, lads. Proper English term, innit? Lads. We should be happy about the card because now we have a comeback when they talk about the UK scorecards. Scorecards all over are madness, ain't they? People, this is an interesting one. Before Owusu says, people talk crazy about JERMELL Charlo. Yeah, let's not do that. He's still got some very, very good wins under his belt. I like the way in which he regrouped to get the Harrison victory. I mean, Rosario was a tough fight going into that one. Erickson Lubin, the way he slept him as well. Austin Trout, good win. There are some good wins in there. I mean, boxing scene have him, I think, as number 7 pound for pound. That's a bit of a stretch for me. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to discredit Charlo. I'd rather give credit to Castano. I think at the end of the day, Charlo's going in there against an unbeaten fighter. And I think we'll give credit to both. So I'm not going to sleep too much on Charlo. I just think Castano is a good fighter that we didn't know too much about. We didn't. A super chat from E-Machine says, I'm not trolling. Honestly, don't follow anything below middleweight. Don't find it interesting. Bro, how can you not find the super flyers interesting? Chocolatito Estrada. How can you not find the 130? Oh, stop it. You're trolling. He's trolling. I know what you're going to tell me, that you don't find Josh Taylor interesting, or the 135 pound division, or the 130 pound division right now. Anthony Vander says, will it be an immediate rematch or both guys fight each other contenders? I don't think they're going to rematch anytime soon, unless someone lobbies for it. If no one lobbies for it, I guess Charlo is definitely going to have mandatories, right? And Castano will have a mandatory as well. I mean, you would want them to both go for it because, look, both have the chance of becoming undisputed. And there aren't that many 4-belt champions in the history of the 4-belt era. So you'd like to think they'll go for it, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Unless the money's good. Unless the money's real good. I don't know if it is. Jake Jansen says, people really think the Charlo brothers would beat Canelo. I have to be honest with you, Jake. I thought that about a year ago. I thought Jamal, not beat, but I thought Jamal Charlo would cause Canelo some real problems. And I think JERMELL coming up would cause him problems. I take it back on both of them. I think, I don't know what it is, but I was extremely high on both 18 months ago. I think both of them have slipped a little bit. I don't know what that is. Look, credit to both of them, but maybe I would think I was in the thought process or the thinking that they were going to become world elite level superstars that we look back on in 30, 50 years time. I don't know if that's going to be the case with either. Very, very good fighters. One was close to becoming undisputed, but yeah, I was one of those people, I can't lie, that thought either Charlo could cause Canelo problems. That ain't happening. What's this one from Luke? Definitely corruption. Yeah, there's something going on. I mean, come on, man. When you get dodgy scorecards like that, and it's not, I'm not just saying that as a dig at American boxing, because I've said the same when I see some scorecards in the UK boxing scene. I'm like, really? How? Like, there was one with Lewis Ritson a couple of fights ago. I can't remember who he fought. And I was like, what is that? We just don't need that in this sport. WM says, get this, Brook to fight Castano. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the super chat. And then beat him and then fight Charlo for the undisputed. Yeah, Brook ain't beating no Castano, unfortunately. As much as, don't get me excited, you know, I'm a Brook fan. Brook ain't beating that guy. That guy is just, you've got to dent him. And even Charlo dented him and he still kept coming forward. Those kind of fighters are nightmares for people like Brook, especially Brook now. So yeah. But what we'll say though, he's not a big 154 pounder, is he? Like, it wouldn't shock me if Brook walks around bigger than him. It wouldn't shock me. He's not big at all. But I doubt we'll see. What is going on with Kell Brook? Like, is it the Eubank fight? I have no idea, by the way, what's going on with Kell Brook. None. Remember, his last fight wasn't a matchroom fight. So normally, you'd ask Eddie, what's going on with Eddie? But he didn't fight under the matchroom banner when he fought Terence Crawford. So I do wonder who he signed with, what's going on, who he's going to fight next. Is he going to fight next? What weight class? Not sure. Not sure. Mickey Dub, Charlo said he would KO Castano, but it never happened. Castano did enough to win the fight. Yeah, Charlo understandably would say that. He's coming off a good win against Rosario. So he's going to say he's going to KO because that's what he does. He normally puts people to sleep. But Castano's, made a different metal. Castano looked really strong in that fight, especially the first half of the fight. I think the second half of the fight, his output definitely slowed. If you watch a Castano fight, Castano's output's crazy. His punches per round are crazy. But I think even he started to tire in that fight. That's the one. Do you remember this scorecard? Lewis Ritson scorecard, 118-110 versus Miguel Vazquez. Jesus Christ, man. Embarrassing. Konrad Boxing says, arrived late. How did you score the fight? I scored it 7-5 Castano, but I can understand how you'd make it a draw. I can't see Charlo win. Sorry to repeat myself for everyone that's already heard this. I can't see how Charlo won that fight, but I can understand how you would score it 6-6. I can. A couple of those were swing rounds. 117, 111. You don't want my opinion on that again. That's that. Yeah. It's incredible. Oh, so I just saw one from Anthony Vander. I just want to quickly read out. Where is that Anthony Vander message? Shit, so many messages coming in. Brian Kerr on Kell Brook. He won't fight again. He will. Kell will have one or two more. He will. This is where you start to get your pension money. He'll have a couple more. Don't be surprised if he goes to 160 and fights Chris Eubank Jr. Don't be shocked about that. He'll fight again. This fight is never happening. Bet money Brook versus Ben happens soon. No chance. I'll bet you any money you got. I spoke to Ben 2 weeks ago, and he mentioned Kell Brook being like a fight he would never take. They're good friends. And Kell was not going to fight at 147 again either. Stephen Tokley says, feed Brook to Tim Zoo. Man, Timzu wants to fight Liam Smith next. Liam Smith says, look, if the money's right, I'll take the fight. See the way that rhymed? Although Liam Smith's coming off a loss, it was a controversial loss. He can still sell the fight. So yeah. I think Jermell Charlo, this is from Bafa Usu, will take the rematch because it's for all the belts. And if he wins, he's the top dog at 154. But I'd like to see Jermell Charlo versus Danny Garcia. Jermell Charlo right now, I don't know how much he necessarily cares about being undisputed. I think it's more a case of the big fight and the paycheck. That's what I think. If he could fight one of the names coming up from 147, so either Danny or Terrence, then he'll take that as opposed to becoming undisputed. I don't think that's a big thing for him. Triple Single says Castano doesn't set anything up. He just walks down the middle with his high guard and throws 2 to 3 punches at a time. Castano is very basic, and Jermell is a hype job. It's interesting because there are fighters in history that are like that. I don't know if it's rude to call them basic, because there's fighters that are like that have gone on to win world titles and have had great success. Margarito was very much like that. Margarito never set anything up. Will just literally walk you down, and that's it. Just pound to the body, pound to the head. Doesn't set anything up. Nothing in his footwork. Doesn't even throw a great jab. So those fighters have clearly found what works for them, and they use it well. Castano has found what works for Castano. And I will say this about Castano. He doesn't just walk in a straight line. If you watch the fight against Charlo, he's forcing Charlo back, which is one thing. That takes some doing. He's closing the distance as well. So where Charlo's looking for a pocket to exit, if you watch the fight again, I've watched it a few. I'm about to lie and say a few times. I've watched it twice now and highlights. Castano blocks off the exits. You think he's just walking through with a high guard. No, he's actually blocking off the exits. So there was a time when Charlo was on the ropes. Charlo was actually trying to get off the ropes, and he couldn't because the exits were blocked. So it's not as crude and as basic as you think. And that's for Jermell Charlo being a hype job. I mean, let's call with that Triple Single. You don't beat the people he's beat if you're just a hype job. If he's beating some good people. The way in which he KO'd Erickson Lubin, and it was supposed to be a very close fight going in, he's beaten some very, very good people on the resume. So I would never call Charlo a hype job. Is he, again, world elite level, top 5 pound for pound? No. But this is a guy that's in the top. Like, you can't have Charlo out of your top 15 pound for pound. You just can't. And anyone that's in the top 15 pound for pound is no hype job. They're the real deal for me. The real deal for me. Scouting Football says, Football Talk with Ade coming anytime soon. We got a lot coming, boy, once we get to that studio. Fucking hell, when that can get done. Jesus Christ. That's already annoying me, but we'll get it done. As a P says, Ade, what's your thoughts on Dillian White's statement regarding Fury destroying the heavyweight division and putting it on hold? Hold that thought. We're coming back. We're coming to that. Hold that thought, please. We're going to come to that, I promise you. J3, super chat. Appreciate that, brother. Like I said, a draw in Texas against the Texan is a win. Judges would never allow you to walk away with a win. A few people are saying that. I remember this is, that's where the thing is from. Charles from Houston. So maybe a draw in Texas is a win. And that's why I don't know if Castano was necessarily too upset. I think Castano walks away thinking, you know what? It's almost like going to someone's backyard. I got a draw in your backyard. What does that really mean? Really and truly, it means you won. I know it's not how boxing works, but we understand how it works. If you get a draw in someone's backyard, it kind of really means you won. Super chat here from Jake Jackson says, scores like that judged yesterday can ruin a legacy. True. That's a very good point, right? I mean, because that's a legacy fight for Castano. I don't know how many Argentinians, I don't know the history of boxing, have ever won. There's definitely not been an undisputed in a 4-belt era, but in a 3-belt era, was there ever an undisputed from? Was there? There must have been. There must have been, but there couldn't have been many. I'm thinking there might be 1 or 2. But yeah, he was trying to create history, and it's a shame. It's a shame. Narelle with a super chat. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. What we got here? Sam Spose says, Charlo not keen on the rematch. Gonna duck. Shame. No. Stop that. Charlo ain't ducking. Stop that. Charlo ain't gonna duck. Charlo's gonna look. And this is what we have to understand, people. You look for the biggest fights. Charlo's 31. He's not a spring chicken anymore. You look for the biggest fights for the biggest money. You want big arena fights. You want fights where 20, 30,000 people turn up. A Castano rematch doesn't do that. You know what it does? Maybe a Terence Crawford fight. Terence Crawford's obviously had his own words to say about Charlo. Little dig on Twitter this morning. You look for those kind of fights that really move the needle. Castano doesn't do that. I don't think he's ducking Castano. I just think it's a case of sometimes you get out there alive, you don't go back. And I feel like he's probably thought, whew, fuck that, move on to quote unquote bigger fish that bring in the bigger paychecks. Will Lynch Super Chat says JERMELL beat more active reigning champions than GGG. Charlo also took so many good shots and didn't fall and landed good shots. How's he hype? This is it. Again, I don't know. Maybe it's because of the way he talks. You know, he's obviously quite brash, and some might call it arrogant. I don't mind it. It's confident you're trying to sell a fight, but there's nowhere on this earth I can say Charlo's a hype job. I just can't. I can't. Anthony Vander says Brooke should fight one last time in Sheffield, then call it a day. But not those guys at 154 pounds. They could really hurt him. The problem is, if Brooke don't fight at 154, he can't make 147 again. It's too tight. He can't make 147, so it has to be 154. And if he's gonna have one more fight at Sheffield, it has to be a big name. Do you know what I mean? So he's gonna have to roll the dice on one of the big ones. He's gonna have to. Robert Vazquez says Castano won. Hurricane Hank says the way that Charlo first responded to the rematch question has me concerned about it being an actual possibility. Yeah, I get that. I understand that. Star Fox McLeod 213 says Castano almost dropped Charlo and without boxing Charlo in the opening rounds. Yeah, but Star Fox, I can switch that and say exactly the same thing happened in the later rounds. Charlo nearly dropped Castano and was out boxing him in the latter rounds. So it goes both ways. Hence why I think that's it. Monzon. Someone put here Monzon as a person that probably won 2 or 3 belts. And it's from Argentina. Viviu is very Lamont Blackshear. Charlo got beat. Oh, okay, what's this one? Lippo says Castano won 9-3, was hitting the gloves with his jab all night long. Charlo is super basic fight, only has a 1-2. He beat good people because of his strength and reach. Boxing, like, come on, guys, man. Come on. We're better than this. You can't say things like that. I don't like people do that. The afterthought. He beat good people because of his strength and reach. No, he beat good people because he's a good boxer. Don't do that. Don't do that. Whether or not you're a Charlo fan or a Castano fan, give the man his plaudits. Charlo is a good fighter. This is the problem with we as boxing fans, and this is what we do a lot. Someone has one bad performance or a dud performance, or even if they lose, and the record books say you got a draw, but if they lose, we start to then dismiss them. He was a hype job. He was that. He ain't that good anyway. Why do we as boxing fans always do that? I don't know why we do. And this is like, and then we want to see the best fight the best. But I'm telling you now, like if AJ fought Fury, so that's number 1 versus number 2, and whoever lost, I'm telling you now, the loser will get stick, and people will be saying things like, it was rubbish. Number 1 versus number 2. In Charlo versus Castano, we had all the marbles. Every single belt was on the line. But yet all of a sudden, people are saying Charlo's a hype job because Castano maybe showed him a few things we haven't seen. It shouldn't work like that. Come on. Sorry, I'm just trying to get up a few more. Jake Jansen, can we rant about the heavyweight soon? It's coming. It's coming. Dil Shakut says, how do you have Charlo versus Bud? I love Bud, but Charlo. Surely Bud's too small for Charlo. I mean, this is a Bud that came up from 135 pounds, surely. Scott Arbuckle says Crawford would win by a few rounds. You guys are getting me excited about this one now. I don't know about that. I do not know about that. Sam So says, yes, he's chasing big money, but it's still a duck. No, man, it's not a duck if you're chasing big money. Like, anyway, I don't know. I like this is my own opinion. Like, if you can't duck Castano and then face Crawford. I know people might say Crawford's coming from a smaller weight class, but it's Crawford. You can't duck someone. I think Crawford would beat Castano. I know that might sound crazy. I think Crawford will go up and beat Castano because I don't think Castano's the big. So you can't duck Castano and then want to fight Crawford, or in my opinion, want to fight Crawford. I don't think JERMELL Charlo is scared of anybody. I'm not joking. I don't think he's scared. He's that kind of character. I just don't think he is scared. But again, my own opinion. Nuriel says, do you think second Fury fight with Wilder will be cancelled? No, I think that fight goes ahead. All right, let's talk about it. We spent 30 minutes talking Charlo, Castano. Let's talk about the heavyweight and all the madness that is going on. So obviously it was cancelled. We're not going to get into that again. COVID, whether or not you believe that, it's up to you. I know I said on numerous videos that I think there's something fishy going on behind the scenes. The fight has now been rearranged for October 9th, which I think is convenient because fight fans can come over. Someone sent me a message the other day saying the fight, before it was cancelled, this is the fight that's just been cancelled, had done 40 million at the gate. I don't know where you get your information from, but you need to fact check it. That is so wrong, it's scary. So wrong. Don't believe that, people. I don't know if anyone out there is also believing that the fight had done 40 million on the gate before it was cancelled. Absolutely not. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. 14 million on the gate. I don't know where we get this shit from sometimes. But yeah, it certainly hadn't done anywhere near 40 million on the gate. I'll tell you that now. Someone just sent me a quick super chat in about, what's this one? Big Nick says, Addy, I'm shocked Crawford beats Charlo comfortably. What? Comfortably? Comfortably? Did you not watch Crawford versus Cavi Velasquez? Well, that comfortable. That wasn't comfortable. Cavi Velasquez put him down in the 9th. He's touched, put him down. Did you not see Crawford versus Benavidez? By the way, I'm a big Crawford fan. Crawford must be one of my top 2 or 3 fights, but I say what I see. Crawford is not, there is no way on this earth that Crawford is beating Charlo comfortably. I mean, how good do you think Crawford is, man? Who's Crawford to beat that you think this stuff? Come on, Big Nick. Come on, brother. Talk to me. Super chat here from Ollie G says, Charlo had success fighting in the center of the ring. Him and James need to work on pivoting off the ropes. He should have more body work like Spence. Yeah, do need to work on that. I don't understand why he sat on the ropes like that either. I think it was just, that's exactly what Castano wants. Castano's quite flat-footed in his movement. In the center of the ring, you know, it's almost a bit like he can't handle that movement. On the ropes, like, well, you ain't going to get out of here. This is where I can start to do some work. And yeah, that was very strange from Charlo. I don't know why. I'm not quite sure why he was doing it, but yeah. But strange. DW23 said, did Fury fake it? Did Fury fake what? The COVID test? I don't think Fury, I don't know. Do I think Fury faked it? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question, if I'm honest with you. I think there's something, again, my thing is, I feel like something more is going on behind the scenes rather than just Fury got COVID, a few people from his camp got COVID, the fight's off. That don't sit with me. That don't sit with me. Super chat here. Yo, from Christopher Scott says Fury be putting up more times than Ron Jeremy. Now, I don't know how old a lot of you are on this chat right now, but anyone over 35 will know who Ron Jeremy is. Anyone younger than 35, do your Googles. What we got here? Adol Shakur says, ain't there pics of Tyson Fury outside recently? Yes, there are pics of Tyson Fury outside. Now, according to Top Rank and those in the know, I think they released a statement. Mike Coppinger tweeted that statement that Tyson Fury tested positive. He done a second test negative, hence why he was allowed to go outside. Yeah, I'm calling that BS. I'm calling it what I see it. Quinn 40. In a while, Quinn. What's he saying? Good evening, my man. Missed a couple of lives, but watched them back after. How's your weekend been? I'm in now into gin and tea with lemon. Yeah, dude. Gin and tonic. By the way, that is not gin and tonic. That is just literally water with lemon and lime. Weekend's been good. It's great weather in it. This is, I always say at London, as much as you know, I've been abroad and there's some great countries out there. Nothing beats London when the weather's good like this. Like so many good bars and restaurants, the vibe is always good. You feel safe as well. There's some places I've been out in other countries, I don't want to mention them, and you feel like, geez, it could go anytime. Anytime. This is obviously nonsense, but I'm going to read it out anyway. From AMG, Fury is scared of that Wilder's knockout power. He certainly isn't scared of that at all, by the way. Like zero. W. Thornton says, Terence Crawford says Jermell Charlo deserves to lose his fight. There's clearly something going on there, by the way. I don't know when this little Charlo Crawford, I don't even know where it started or where it's come from, but they have a dig at each other quite a lot. Quite a lot. Jake Jansen says Joyce and Takam is the biggest heavyweight fight for the summer. This is pathetic. Good fight, though. Hey, don't sleep on that one. Joyce Takam's a good fight. I'm actually covering that fight for TalkSport. Remember, I was supposed to do it. That's because Adam Cattrall, who does a lot of TalkSport's boxing, was going to go to America to do Fury versus Wilder. So they asked me to host it. I'm not hosting it, but I'm going to be the ringside reporter interviewing a lot of the fighters after their events. Sorry, after their bouts. Let me get my terminology correct. So I'm actually there for that one. I do think it's going to be a good fight. I've been watching Carlos Takam on his Instagram, put out a lot of videos of his training, and he's looking good. Looking strong as well. Scott Arbuckle says the build-up now will be even more intense and helps the potential AJ fight given the timings of the fights now. Dude, Scott, I respect you as someone that's left a comment. I really appreciate you. I have zero faith in AJ versus Fury being made. Like, we were that close and it just all collapsed. And I just don't know if we're going to all put ourselves through it again. Like, AJ's got potentially Usyk to get through. I don't know what's going on with this Wilder Fury thing. Who knows? By the time October comes around, is someone going to be ill? Someone going to get injured? We're so far away from AJ. Look, AJ Fury was perfect. Perfect storm. No injuries. Everyone was good going into it. Nothing wrong. Now we've got other fights in front of them. Who knows, man? Fuck it. I don't know. Super Chayout says, do you think Charlo will give a rematch or move on? If he moves on, I think he loses credibility. It depends who he moves on to. I think that's the biggest thing. Who does he move on to fight? Now, again, if it is Danny Garcia coming up from 147, that's quite a big name, so you can understand why he would move on to that. If it's a Terence Crawford coming up, which I don't think will happen personally, but then you can understand. If it isn't one of those two, maybe chuck in Tim Tszyu because he's getting a lot of hype right now, then I can understand how people might be upset if he doesn't give Castano a rematch. But also, let's not forget, he does have 3 belts. There are going to be loads of mandatory requirements. He isn't going to want to vacate a belt. So it's not going to be that easy to make that fight. And plus, he's going to want to get paid. That was a tough fight for him. I don't know what he got paid, but it wouldn't have been great money. He's not getting paid crazy figures. Like, there's no way he's getting paid 8 figures, right? I mean, it won't even be high 7 figures. So, got to pay the man if you want to see him in the ring again against that beast. Got to pay him. Oh, I saw a very good one that I want to. Before Owusu says people need to stop talking down on Jermell Charlo. Yeah, come on, we need to. That's not the way we look. If we do that, then it's just not fair. Like, you can't have someone put a performance, win or losing them, immediately we just start fitting things like they're crap, hype jobs. That's not how it works. This is an interesting one. Ariane Uda says Crawford is not slick at 147. He's more flat-footed at higher weights. I think at 154 he'll be much more slower and prone to getting hit. Good point. It's a very good point. There's 2 reasons. A, the weight, and B, he's getting on. Like, Crawford isn't the guy at 135 in his 20s that was, fresh and exciting. This is a guy now that had a lot of wear and tear on the body, a lot of inactivity. He's getting old. And you're right, it gets caught as well in fights. So we'll see. Kalita's Way says, Mel's got too much power for it to be comfortable for Bud. I have no idea how you could have watched all of Crawford's fights, all of Jermell Charlo's fights, and say it's comfortable for Crawford. It's impossible. You're making me stutter. That's how impossible it is. Samuel Harrison says, do you remember for the second fight how much publicity there was? All those debates with John Fury, David Haye, etc. Literally nothing for the third fight, weeks away. Nothing. Honestly, I'm pretty sure BT Sport was supposed to show it, but I didn't even hear about anything in terms of them showing it. You're right. There was nothing. There was no push. There was that one press conference where Deontay Wilder decided he doesn't want to really talk. It lacked something. It lacked a lot, in fact. I'm not saying that they pulled the fight because they knew the numbers weren't going to be great, but you can understand why people say that. You can understand. There are smarter people than us behind the scenes that work out these things. They work out how a fight's starting to trend. They look at all the analytics. Oh, this is starting to trend, this, that. That fight weren't trending anywhere. Nowhere. And you've not just got to pay Fury Wilder big bucks. Look at the undercard. You got to pay Kaunaki and Hellenius good money. You got to pay F.A. Jagba and Frank Sanchez good money. I think a good business decision would be to pull it until October and get the UK fight fans over. That's what I would have done. Kamoru K there says, my conspiracy theory, they moved the Fury Wilder fight to post AJ Usyk fight and will promote it as winner fights for Undisputed. This will generate massive fan interest. Will it? Will it generate massive fan interest? Let me tell you what generates massive fan interest. It's not difficult. Put the fucking fights on. Pardon my French. I think sometimes boxing promoters almost overthink things. Like, we are quite simple. Put the fights on consistently, good fights, sport will grow. I think when they overthink things like, okay, if we do it that week and they fight then, if we do it a day before that, and then we just put on the fucking fights. Tyson Fury's not fought since February 2020. The WBC heavyweight champion, the lineal champion, hasn't fought since February 2020. Give us the fights. Big Nick says, Ade, the Caviar Lascas was Crawford brawling as opposed to him boxing. He said as much. Crawford was brawling because he was forced to brawl. And Virgil Ortiz is going to have to force to brawl as well, because Virgil Ortiz versus Caviar Lascas is happening on the zone. He was forced to. That wasn't a case of Crawford thinking, you know what, fuck it. I'm so good. I'm going to fight your style just because I think I can beat you at your style. No. That was Caviar Lascas forcing him to work. Pretty much like what Castano did to Jermell Charlo yesterday, forcing him to come out of their comfort zone and work. A lot of those guys, a lot of the slick boxers don't like that. And Crawford is a slick boxer. Charlo is not the Crawford, but he's also quite a slick boxer. Oh, yeah. Sapwell and the Jets. We know about Ron Jeremy, man. He always popped up in those MTV behind the music documentaries. Yep, do your Googles. What got here? AMD2 says, remember Fury almost went to sleep in the first fight. It's dangerous giving a knockout puncher 3 fights to land his punch on you. Yeah, but he did land. He did land on Fury, and Fury got up. And another thing, AMG, is that he landed on the worst Fury. That was the worst Fury. Having watched Fury for as many years as I've watched him, worst Fury I've seen for years at a high level. Worst. That was the best Wilder I've seen. That Wilder, in and around the first Fury fight, was super confident. No one could stop him. I mean, people were comparing him to some of the elites of the 80s and the 60s and the 70s. So the best Wilder could not beat the worst Fury. There is no way on earth that this Wilder now is beating this Fury now. So I don't think Fury's postponed the fight because somehow he's scared of Deontay Wilder. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. JD says Eddie Hearn said they're still talking for the undisputed fight for January. It ain't happening. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to that. George Archibald, this is an interesting one. Yes, Eddie, I see nobody wants the IBF eliminator with big Filip Hrgovic. Filip Hrgovic can't get a fight right now. No one wants to fight Filip Hrgovic. Now, it was supposed to be Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter had his own reasons to go to Triller. I think more money. You can't blame him, right? Go and get your money. That would have been a good fight. I don't know who else. The one that makes sense for me is if Joe Joyce gets past Carlos Takam, which I expect him to do. Joe Joyce versus Filip Hrgovic would be brutal. That would be a car crash. Oh, wouldn't mind seeing that. Wouldn't mind seeing that. Luke says, what about everyone avoiding Hrgovic? Yep, just mentioned that, Luke. This is a bit harsh. See, we're doing these things again. Derek James is the worst trainer ever. Oh, God. I don't know how Spence and Charlo understand a word he's saying. I can. I don't think he's certainly not the worst. I mean, look, a lot of hyperbole in your statement. DW23 says, strange how Wilder hasn't been vocal at all about Fury pulling out. Maybe they are in cahoots. I don't know about that. But again, this is what I'm saying. I don't understand. Like, I'm shocked that no one said anything. I'm shocked. I'm sure Wilder has probably said something. I don't necessarily follow Wilder. I don't think I even follow Wilder on Instagram. I must do, but I'm sure Wilder said something. But boy, it's strange. Bills, it says, yes, Addy, looking forward to the studio. So am I. So am I. Adil Shakut says, regardless, I don't think Fury versus AJ ever happens now. Nor do I. Done. It's not going to happen. Cy H says, I'm getting sick of the heavyweight division at the minute. All they do is talk, as the top boxers are already super rich, so in no hurry to fight. All right, let's examine that a little bit. Now, I think the issue might be in that statement is that we only just want to see Fury versus AJ. Because AJ did fight Kubrat Pulev. Kubrat Pulev at the time, not by me, but by most, was considered a top 10. We did get the Dillian White versus Povetkin rematch after Povetkin put him to sleep. That was one as well. Andy Ruiz, yes, not in a great fight, but at least came back against Areola. We was going to get Frank Sanchez versus F.A. Jagba, and we was going to get Helenius versus Kalnaki. On the weekend, we are getting Takam versus Joe Joyce. Look, I admit that isn't the most exciting of heavyweight fights, what I've just mentioned, what I've just gone through. But we have had some fights. And in 2 months' time, it looks like we're going to get AJ versus Usyk. It's not as bad as we make it out to be. Could it be better? Absolutely. Is it as horrible as we make it seem? Probably not. Probably not. Wayne McCleary says, is there a reason why AJ versus Usyk hasn't been announced officially yet? I smell something fishy. Usyk's owner, Usyk's promoter and manager has come out and said there's 3 things. He actually specifically said 3 things they're trying to iron out. I have no idea what those 3 things could be. It might be something in a rematch clause. It might be, I have no idea. I don't understand how there's so much complications in a mandatory. It doesn't make any sense to me. I always feel like with mandatories, regardless, it should just be percentages. Like, it should be a case of a mandatory for any belt, IBF, WBO, WBA, whatever. If it's your mandatory, this is the split on everything. This is the split on tickets. This is the split on gate revenue. This is the. It should be so basic. There shouldn't be anything to iron out. What should there be to iron out? And if you want a rematch in there, the mandatory, it should be there. The WBO should stipulate all that stuff. It shouldn't be left to the promoter to do. The sanctioning body should be the one that stipulate everything. And then it should be easy. I don't know, man. Michael Peace says, are the fans beginning to lose interest in Fury? Yeah. You're going to. If you haven't seen someone do something for a year and a half, you have to. You have to have lost some interest. If I love watching someone do something, and this is any sport, tennis, boxing, snooker, darts, any sport, MMA, if I haven't seen you do it for a year and a half, I'm like, oh, fucking point then. How can I be fully invested in you if you've not done what I love you doing for 18 months? Surely, 100%. Like, it doesn't make any sense for me. Like, he's got to fight. Quinn 40, big super chat. Thank you very much, brother. Says, quick question about UFC. I think McGregor is done, broken leg, and not quite the fighter he was. Now he's worth 500 million. What do you think? Also, in your lovely new studio, Fight Companion, UFC as well. Yeah, firstly, the latter bits, there will be Fight Companions. We are going to do UFC. There's going to be loads of things going on in that studio. I'm so excited to get there, by the way. So excited, but I'm not going to rush the process, but I'm so excited. I've got 3 of these cameras now. I've got 3 of these mics. I haven't got any lighting properly yet, but the cameras and the mics were the big thing. So we're going to have 3 different angles, if that makes any sense. So when I'm talking on me, when the guest is talking on the guest, and then a wide shot of both of us, and then obviously a proper mics as well. So yeah, good things planned. As for Conor McGregor, I don't think he's worth 500 million, by the way. I think 500 million was a sell fee for proper whiskey. His percentage of that was like 180. So it's still, don't get me wrong, it's still worth a considerable amount of money. Look, I think he should call it quits. I mean, but look, I'm not a fighter. He's a fighter, and he's not going to want to go out that way. So don't be surprised to see him back. We have some people come back from those leg breaks. Anderson Silva's one was way worse. He came back, and Chris Weidman on his way back as well. So you can come back from those leg breaks. But if you've got that much money in the bank, if you're no longer what you were, he's never going to be champion again. What's the want? What is it? I don't know. It must be some big itch he's got to scratch. A big itch. Who's this guy? Keeps on tweeting this. Debo, Taylor annihilates Bud. Oh, God. See, I can accept. I can accept Taylor and Bud will be a good fight. I think Taylor could win. That's what I need you to tweet, Debo or D-Boy. Taylor annihilates Bud makes me question your boxing IQ. And I don't have the biggest boxing IQ, but it makes me question yours. It does. Smile back if you're ugly. Super sticker, super chat. No question. I'm not smiling because I ain't ugly. Sam So says, your studio is big enough for a 5-a-side game. Get it going. I think it looked a lot bigger than maybe it was on the camera. I think it's actually pretty big. It's bigger than my front room, actually, now I think about it. So it's pretty big as well, but I think it's going to look a lot smaller. Remember, right now, you saw it as white walls. Remember, those walls ain't going to stay white. They're going to go dark like this, maybe even black. There was nothing in it as well. There's going to be a big table down the center of the room. You didn't see any chairs in there. There was no curtains. We're going to have curtains in there to kind of cover the light coming in. So it will look a lot smaller than I think you saw it. Tyson Fury trying his best to escape the fight for some reason. Not sure why. Certainly isn't. Cy H says the new studio is going to take your channel to a whole new level. Live watch-alongs will be epic. I think it's going to look good as well. I think it's going to look good. Well, it has to be because we don't accept anything else. But yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. The answer to this question is no. You know what? This is the one I really want to see. It must be out there somewhere. Addy, when are we getting the Miller and AJ face-off interview? It's been 2 years. Where is that? Must be out there somewhere. Okay, someone's saying that Conor got 150 million from this proper 12. Fucking hell, man. Jeez. I just think Jake Jansen just said, I missed his super chat. Apologies if I have, brother. I'm actually looking for it now. You said you want my point on it. Sorry, I will. Jake, write it down again. Not in a super chat. Just write it down again, and I will see it. I'll look out for it and read it out. Conor got around 150 million US dollars. He is allegedly worth 400 million. You know, these things, I always feel like these Forbes, when they try and like find your worth, are so inaccurate. So inaccurate. I sometimes think people look at them and start laughing like, sure I am. But obviously Conor's worth a lot of money, but I doubt Conor's worth nearly $500 million. I just doubt it. Oh, what's this one? Ade, Fury is scared of AJ. He's not. He's not scared of AJ. Like, you know, the thing is with Fury as well, obviously, look, he's had his mental health, his depression, and he's always spoke about that it's a constant fight and a constant battle. We don't know if something's going on behind the scenes like that. We don't know. Look, we saw what happened to Tyson Fury after the Klitschko fight and the way in which he went like that. We don't know if anything like that is starting to creep up. And I say that because I've gone through my own stages of depression, 100%, a few years back. And it's like that. You kind of feel like you're like that. Like sometimes you feel like, yeah, and then sometimes you're like, oh, then it's back up again, then down. And I wonder with Fury, who I think needs to be in the ring, I wonder if right now he's going through a period. And I wonder right now if Wilder's aware of that as well, which maybe that's why Wilder's not come out and said anything against him. I don't know. I'm just kind of putting 2 and 2 together here. I'm not quite sure. Smile back if it ugly says, I wouldn't even believe Tyson Fury if he told me he was lying. That's funny. That's actually quite good. Ade, quick question. What happened with Dylan White's B sample? Next. Brian Curtis, what did you think of Simon Jordan's interview with Mauricio Sulaman? When did he do that? Was that on TalkSport? I've not even heard that. Not even heard that. Oh, this is interesting. AO says, everybody got shit going on. Fury gets a free pass. Look, you know the worst, you know the funny thing is, if it is a case of he has got COVID and his camp got COVID, and that is a legitimate reason for the fight to be canned. Like legitimate. Like there's no two ways about it. If that fight has been canned because of COVID, then I guess I take everything back that I've said. But my thing is with Fury is I think there's a bit more to it than meets the eye. But if it is just a case of, you know what we are like, we try to kind of overthink things. But if it's just a case of shit, nigga's got, language, he's got COVID, then he's got COVID. I talked like I was talking to my boys there for a second. Imagine I said that word on air, live on air. Okay, I didn't know about this. Simon Jordan destroyed Sulaman on TalkSport last Thursday. Really? Interesting. I need to see that. ZP says, I love Fury, but fuck me, it would be nice for him to make a legit defense. Would be nice. Would be nice. Interesting question from Scott Arbuckle. Ade, what shows will you be doing on TalkSport for the new football season? Any new ones? Well, now you've asked. I find out this week what shows I'm going to be doing. Remember, my journey into TalkSport's been a bit of a crazy one. I didn't expect any of this. I started at TalkSport reading the newspaper. That was the back of the newspapers. And I'm not going to tell you how much that is, but it ain't great. So it's like a half an hour slot I used to do every sort of every 2 weeks Saturday or 2 weeks Sunday. So every fortnight. For not great money. So the idea of me even having my own show on TalkSport is crazy, but I do think I am going to get a show on TalkSport. Remember, I do stuff right now on TalkSport too, but cover a lot on TalkSport. But I think I'm going to get my own show rubber stamped on TalkSport, and we'll find out next week. You will find out when I find out. Guys and girls, I have something very big to tell you as well, and I will tell you on Wednesday. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. I will tell you on Wednesday something. And I want to tell you all before you find out. So I will tell you on Wednesday something pretty big as well. What else have we got here? Anything else? Daniel Phipps says, Ade, what's your 5-year plan? A 5-year plan is... It's a good question. It's a good question. You know what it is? I have I have no idea, if I'm honest with you. I think the biggest thing for me is to get into the studio and see where that takes me. Because again, if someone were to have asked me or told me a couple of years ago what I would have been doing now, I would have think you're mad. So I have no idea what all of us are capable of doing. All I know is that I will work my fucking hardest. That's what I know. So that's the 5-year plan. Work. But the most important thing for me is get into the studio. That's the most important thing. I got Ade by late stoppage. Who's this? Who's Ade fighting? Who's Ade fighting? Ade can't fight, by the way. Do not have me in a fight. I cannot fight. What? This can't be true. Did you hear Fury? Did you hear about Fury bringing in Freddie Roach? It can't be true. Can't be true. TM Booth's a former professional boxer. No chance. He would light me up. Now, see, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to go around bragging I can do. No. That is a professional fighter. Now, he might have turned into, quote unquote, a bit of a journeyman towards the end of his career, but TM Booth can fight, you know. No. You guys are crazy. Crazy. What we got here? This will be cool. Ade's going to space with Elon and Jeff Bezos. Nope. I wish that was the case. Well, it wasn't that one. It was that one. Ade, tell AJ if the zone doesn't pick you up, I'm canceling my subscription and Twitter bashing them. Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm looking forward to seeing the zone thing, how it all works. Soon. That's what I'm looking forward to. Okay, this is a question. Ade, when will you marry? When will I get married? Hopefully soon. But you got to find the right person, right? Can't rush into those things. Got to find the right person. Once I find the right person, boom, I'm in. I ain't wasting no time. I'm in. Give us a clue, Ade. If I give you a clue, you're going to get it. There's no point. Let me just reveal it on Wednesday. Let me reveal it on Wednesday, and yeah, and see what you guys think. See what you guys think. Are you still going to do movie talks? I missed the movie talks. You know, I missed them. You know what film I watched for the first time the other day? I was watching it and I didn't finish it because I kind of got a little bored towards the end. Where is it? Was I watching on Amazon or Netflix? What film was it? 1 second, people. Where's my Amazon Prime account? All right, here it goes. What was I watching? Where is it? Parasite. And I kind of I was enjoying it, but I was like, wasn't too. Maybe it gets a lot better, but I was kind of like, how far in am I? I am 42 minutes in, and I kind of stopped. I was like, nah, this is boring. It's boring. And another film I watched the other day as well that I thought was a bit boring was what was it called again? I can't remember what it's called. It's a film where they all have to be quiet because of these aliens and animals. You know what I'm talking about? I think Emily Blunt, is that her name? She's in it. Yeah. Oh my God. I might watch this again tonight. I watched Time on BBC iPlayer. Great shout. Guys, if you've not watched Time, watch it. Watch it. That's it. A Quiet Place. I was like, this was a bit, didn't really enjoy it. Didn't really enjoy it. I enjoyed the first one a lot. Didn't really enjoy this one. What film do I think is underrated? No Country for Old Men. Not many people talk about it. It's not necessarily that it's underrated, but when I ask people, have you watched it? Everyone's like, no, I ain't watched it. I was like, how have you not watched No Country for Old Men? Great. If anyone's watched Parasite, tell me, is it worth continuing? Like, is it worth continuing? Anthony Vander, did you watch the Fast and Furious film, Addy? The cars are in space. Now, I stopped watching that shit after number 3 or 4. It started to get like, come on, allow it, man. Allow it. Stop. Stop. Ethan says, I'm looking forward to Maya Jama. Maya Jama is going to be very, very good for it. I already can. It's going to be very different. Like that's what Maya Jama is going to bring to it. She can present the way as well. She's not like she's just a pretty face. Maya Jama can present, and I think she's going to be. Boxing's very rigid. It's very like just. I think she's going to bring a breath of fresh air to the sport. Her and Laura Wood. So I'm looking forward to it. Kaide says, Ade, what do you think of YouTube channels like IFL TV going mute on Fury Wilder postponements? I don't think anything on it at all. I don't. There's not much to report. Like they go about interviewing people. So I'm sure in when they interview someone, they've asked the question, surely. But yeah, not too much about it. Okay, a few people have said I should definitely keep watching Parasite. I will watch it. Have I watched? They sit down properly and watch Parasite? Okay, I'll watch it then. I'll watch it. If you're telling me I'll watch it, I'll watch it. Do you watch the Olympics, Ade? Yes, I do. My number one sport that I love more than anything is athletics. I love it more than anything. So I do watch the Olympics. It's going to be crazy watching it without fans. The other day I interviewed Mark Lewis Francis. You guys might remember him. Got a gold medal in the 4x100 meter relay for Great Britain. I'm a big athletics fan. Big athletics fan. All right, guys. That's it for today. Yeah, that's it. I was gonna say shut us down for 10 more minutes, but I'm tired. That's it. It's hot. Got things to do. It's been good. Oh, Gangs of London or Top Boy. Let me come back. Gangs of London or Top Boy, says Yusuf Patel. Gangs of London started really good. I thought the ending was really shit. I thought unrealistic. Top Boy for me, I loved. Top Boy for me was proper. So I'm going to say Top Boy. Top Boy, 100%. What's this? Who is your money on to win 100 meters? What, male or female? Female, it's got to be Shelley-Ann Fraser-Price. Especially now, Sha'Carri Richardson's out. So I've got to go Shelley-Ann Fraser-Price to win it. Although I think Dina's going to push her, you know. But I think Shelley-Ann Fraser-Price is capable of going 10-6. I don't know if Dina can go 10-6 to win. So yeah, I think the men's race is open. Yeah, men's race is open. What's this? It's far-fetched when a guy gets shot 100 times on the G trying to get to the boat and he's still alive yet. That's from Gangs of London. Good film though. Good film. I saw it, right? Last comment here. Jay Jansen says, Ade, how do the American sprinters like Coleman run under 9.8 and British sprinters can't run under 9.9 or hardly get that? Don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's the obvious thing like steroids or anything like that. I just think I think the American system is just better. Like even when you watch the university meets, that there's nothing like. I mean, it's a big thing. It isn't a big thing over here. I think they just take. I think Americans just take sport so much more seriously than we do. Look how big college basketball is out there. Look how big college football is out there. Like everything over here is just football. In America, every sport is The other day I was fucking watching frisbee competition. Frisbee. Do you remember that? In fucking at the beach or in the park. Frisbee. They take that shit seriously. A fucking bit of plastic. And they're throwing it to each other and they've all, you know, frisbee world champion. They just take things so seriously and we don't. So they produce athletes because it's almost like they're bred. They're bred. Have you watched Tenet yet? Yeah, and stop watching it after 20 minutes. Nonsense. Yeah, Blessing did. You're right. Blessing ran 10.64. That was that not in Nigeria? I think that was in Nigeria or somewhere in Africa. Blessing's got the capabilities, but Blessing starts too slow. She's got to start really well. If she starts quick, then she's got a chance. If not, then no chance. Someone's asking me DC or Marvel. Marvel. Just Marvel. Blessings too inconsistent. All right, guys, I'm gonna stay if I keep doing this. I gotta go. This shows that how much you guys have missed me. You guys have missed me a lot. Don't worry, we're gonna do some lives during the week. For now, gotta go. Or Anthony, just about to go. Anthony fucking put in a super chat. This is about to go. What's this one? Do you like Denzel's son from Tenet? Addy, you look like no, I don't. I'm better looking than him. I'm better looking than Denzel Washington's son. I'm not having it, Big Nick. I'm better looking than him, Big Nick. You're looking at me rough. When I get a little shave and go out, I'm better looking at him. Ade, what are your top 3 80s action movies? That is an impossible question. Think about what you just asked. I mean, are we putting science fiction in there as well? Because one could argue that Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator, is action and science fiction. If that is the case, then Predator has to be in it. Like, it has to be in it. And then, again, I mean, you've got to have a Rambo. First Blood. What a movie. What a movie. Wait a minute. Was Die Hard 90 or 89? Well, Die Hard could be the best action movie of all time. Die Hard was 88. Die Hard is the greatest action movie of all time. Argue with me. Someone argue with me. Someone argue with me. I want to hear it. No, but see, the problem is, okay, look, let's do this. You want to do this? You want to do it? Let's do it now. Let's do it. JD says Terminator, Predator, Aliens. Look, it's Predator action. So it's Terminator action. If Terminator is action, then the best 3 are Die Hard, Terminator, Predator. Those are the best 3. I'm not having any other ones. What are we saying here? Big Nick says Running Man, Predator. Running Man ain't up there with them. Running Man was good. Die Hard is come on. He was so good in that film, Bruce Willis. Die Hard, someone saying Die Hard is the 90s. I just double checked. I've got it right in front of me. 1988 action thriller. Certainly ain't 90s. Got it right in front of me. Passenger 57. Was that 80s? Sam Sosa's Terminator 2. Sam, you didn't read the rules of the game show. We said 80s. Terminator 2 of 90s. Step yourself out of the room and come back again. In fact, I might block you for getting that. I might block you for that. Can't get that wrong. Quinn 40. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. Come on, I'm telling you. Die Hard is so... I might watch it now. I might watch it again. JD says, I'd have Die Hard top 3. Yeah, fact. So look, you would. I don't know if we're calling Terminator action or is Terminator going to be sci-fi? Because if Terminator is sci-fi, then sci-fi has to be Aliens, Terminator. What else? Sci-fi. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Asim Hussein, I think I'm going to block you for that statement. You're getting blocked. I'm going to put you in a timeout. Asim's in a timeout for that nonsense. Fast and Furious nonsense. Die Hard is legendary. Should be a Christmas watch requirement. Every kid should watch Die Hard. Every kid. Every kid. Someone said a good one that I don't know if we were classing this as action. Die Hard, Rambo, Beverly Hills Cop. Now, I don't know Beverly Hills Cop as action, but I guess it kind of is. Obviously, it's Eddie, so we think of it as a comedy, but it kind of is action, isn't it? I don't know. This is... See what you started, Anthony. Anthony, see what you started. I was ready to go bed, or at least go and lie down. See what you started. Bloodsport, Van Damme. It's not action. Good. It's not action. You know what the funny thing is, you go and watch some of those. I prefer AWOL, by the way, or Kickboxer. But you go and watch Bloodsport now, it looks so naff. The fight scenes are horrendous. Don't watch it. Don't watch. Save yourself time. Save yourself some time. Oh my God. Oh my God. H. H. You've just done it. You've just done it. Escape from New York is definitely a top 3. Top 3. Escape from New York with Mr. Kurt Russell is a top 3. Well done, H. You redeemed yourself. You have redeemed yourself. Over the Top, I loved. Have you guys ain't seen Over the Top? It's an arm wrestling movie with Sylvester Stallone, and there is one big motherfucker in that movie. Guy's actually dead now, but a lot of those guys in there as well were arm wrestlers, monsters, units. Miami Vice. We said, okay. Quick tip clips. Do you want to get blocked? Miami Vice, as a film, as a show, 80s. Film, later on, was 2000s. Come on. Die Hard is overrated, says Neil Thomas. Neil Thomas, got to put him in a quick timeout for that nonsense. Sorry, Neil, got to go in a timeout. I can't have blasphemy on my channel. I can't have that. Look at this one. Look at this one. This is when you know AMC 8's about 20. That surfing movie, the one with the John Wick lad, 80s. Point Break. I think Point Break was 90s though. I don't think that was 80s. Point Break with Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves was 91. So you missed it by a couple of years. Oh my God, you guys are getting some good ones, boy. I'm going to go now. I'm going to go because someone just said a good one here, but I need to go. Top Gun. I ain't having that as an action movie. I don't know. This, though, was a classic. Big Trouble in Little China. That was, you know what, yeah? Kurt Russell is slept on, you know. That was Kurt Russell, wasn't it? It was 86. Kurt Russell done some classics, you know. You know what? You can go and see this in the cinema. You know, there's some cinemas like that go and show like these classic films. You can go and watch them. I might go and watch that. Commando, see, no, ain't going in. Flash Gordon, you must be mad. You're gonna get blocked for that. No, all right, guys, I gotta go. You guys are getting so you're asking me for more stuff now. I'm seeing someone that said add a top 3 gangster films. I'm gonna name them, then I'm going. You know, I don't mind. I feel like we need to separate the black gangster films from like the Italian mafia ones. So for me, like Belly and Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society, they're almost over there in their own kind of world. And I guess that the Italian mafia ones, listen, look, Scarface, Goodfellas, Godfather, Casino, like legendary stuff. Legendary stuff. New Jack City. Oh my God, one of my best films ever. Warriors. 70s film. We're going back to the 70s. That Warriors must be like 1975 or 76. It's about a gang. They go and meet all the other gangs, and they go and see the boss of all the gangs. And the boss gets shot, and that gang, called the Warriors, have to get back to their patch. And it's got fantastic music, fantastic soundtrack. Really good. 79, The Warriors was. Great film. All right, guys. Gotta go. I've had fun, but I gotta go. Thank you so much, everyone. Peace and love. Have a good week. Try not to stress too much. What's everyone saying? Yeah. Peace, people. Peace and love.